And here it is, time to enter a literally new world. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 had just one world map. Final Fantasy 3 had two separate ones which were kind of connected with the floating continent and then the sunken world, which basically had about same amount of locations to explore on both of them. And then there would be a Final Fantasy 4 which had three world maps which were basically connected, the overworld, underworld and moon, but this is the first time in Final Fantasy history that completely different world is entered, not just a different location in the same world, or well, another celestial body as in the case of moon, but completely different world, different dimension, different reality. At least as a large sense of events, not just a little bit of temporary with dip into something, but really sinking and going. Yeah. Well, as much as I can say, the pirates didn't do any kind of pillaging, so they say their best goodbyes to their loved ones, and boom! We got figures of light somewhere else. Strange, really interesting thing to notice that Final Fantasy games have, as much as I can say, actually, they have never really dabbled with much of with time travel, as in they going back and forth between time, because that would be quite well. Final Fantasy 1 had a little bit of it, but generally you could say that there has been very little of time traveling shenanigans. Often in sense that something big happened in the past, but never in sense that you're going past and altering it. Well, world map is different. I'm stuck on an island with no transport. So I just meet a monster and I kill it. And it gives me a tent. Yep, those enemies always give you a tent because it's a hint that they use this. And I do. Well, it was the last of them all. And the enemy appears again. And of course, as always, princesses get adopted. Yep, and it already abducted two of them, it's gonna abduct third of them as well. Abductor. Appropriate name for appropriate kind of monster, which gets killed in one fell attack. I don't even know, can you lose that fight, but... Oh damn. Scripted event, I have to get defeated by all those. And I've been captured. So, he is here. And he apparently is quite evil person. And of course, because he's evil bastard, he's gonna use all kinds of hostage-taking systems. Yeah, he's got some sort of hologram protection device. That's actually quite low. But Galuf is... well... he doesn't like that. He does not throw away his friends. Oh yeah, he doesn't even Ex-Death doesn't even want to get listened to be mounted off by prisoners. He's gonna whoop them back into the discipline. So. Yeah, there's big bridge, nasty looking mountains, all kind of towers, big ominous looking castle. And looks like I am now time to do some sort of rescue operation now, and of course I'll be taking a crazy risk by saving here because I'm just playing with a one character alone, but there's healing springs, all two of them, so I could actually be quite careful around here. And it's locked. So it's time to head to the basement because of course you keep the prisoners either in dungeon deep below the castle or whatever location you are in, or then you would put them into very high tower, both which would make it difficult for the other party to leave it. And there's a couple of tarantulas. Don't seem particularly scary, die with one hit. And give potion, so I'll just drank one of them. And I do say that the Galuf looks quite silly in his as a red mage. Yeah, you put a slow on me and it didn't do rat's ass. And there's a character who would, in longer run, become very popular. Gilgamesh! He appeared first time in this game as henchman of Ex-Death. And then he would show up in many other Final Fantasy games as some sort of as a crazy hammy character stealing weapons. Yeah, he is just doing quite run-of-the-mill smacks at this phase. So it's just an exchange of hits until... Oh, well... Oh yeah, he was taken down. Well, he escaped. Well, now the team is back to its full numerical strength again. So smacking around some critters is now not much of an issue at all. So it would be also quite appropriate to then just leave this place as well. Nothing really dangerous enemies in this for this phase of the game, of course, because why would you put really dangerous enemies into this phase of the game? Scroll. That was just a little visual trickery to make it a bit more interesting. So of course it'll be time to make use of the healing spring. I'm quite certain that Exdet himself or itself, herself, well I guess to say him, would be spending lots of time in that healing spring because it seems to be quite comfortable thing to be in. Well, not that well guarded castle by him. For some reason it doesn't surprise me that evil sorcerer would be doing the quite classical evil overlord mistakes. But the world map has different music and it looks different and generally acts different as well. So they really have they were quite good at making the area actually be completely different world. Just quite regular run-of-the-mill enemies over here still anyways. Let's just put the control on, but I don't need two characters with the ability. And here's the big bridge. Enemies, apparently, yeah. Trying to get out from their location. And this is one of the famous Final Fantasy musics that has been composed, and it would become theme of the only character who has appeared in several Final Fantasy games as himself, as the same character several times. So, oh damn! I controlled the wrong target. More of them. I wonder, does that critter have any sort of enemy skill I could possibly learn and exploit? No, it does not. Yeah, and I made it smack itself death. But let's just enjoy this fun, efficient little escape sequence. Yeah, just regular smacking them all down out of existence. Lots of enemy pests around here. And I'm not cutting these fights off because you can say that they are scripted to happen, they are not random events. And they built a really big bridge. Oh! Gilgamesh attacks again. This time it's even bigger fight. Let's bring out Titan. See what he likes that. What dignity damage? And of course, because he's now having a full team, he's got more beefier hits. So he now is gonna buff himself up. Yeah, that didn't do much damage. 1,000 needles is a fixed damage attack, meaning it does not get reduced by anything. I personally feel that lots of those, you could say, Chocobo kick, and it didn't do rat's ass. 1,000 needles is very potent in this kind of situations where enemy is very tough. Oh, well, I already fed you twice, so of course I will meet you again. Most likely getting head smashed up and more critters. Just some more critters to be unceremoniously wiped out of existence while I try to leave, and more. They are really hard. They have a real hard on about guarding this bridge. I would understand it, because bridges are very good, basically defensive positions and a way to constrict your enemy's movement. Well, something appeared and threw us all the way into wherever. Oh, it's real nice to admit that, yeah. And apparently the blast was so strong that it threw us way outside this world into this completely different patch of land in this wasteland. And meaning, of course, we have to face some critters. which are not, you could say, not particularly impressive or unimpressive. They're just there to cause some annoyance. Now, I would say that at this phase of the game, it becomes quite a lot and important to actually keep around switching abilities and all that. But arrived city, frontier town of Rigole. I don't know. And they have new white magics, new black magics, even though they are not. And also, well, actually, just buying all of them, because I need to buy all these spells only once, so there's no point in not buying them. So much new stuff. Which of course is very handy and necessary. Wizard hats. And you basically don't need any equipment more than 4 pieces if you would really want to be, because every extra after that is just unnecessary. But let's see, frontier town. Well, there must be very little bit of things happening around here, because this world seems to be much worse shape than the one which Bards and the others just left, in the sense that there's X-Death has a big castle, and of course he would most likely comment all kinds of monsters as well. And Mughals. Bah! That's a sheep. Oh, taking a nap. And I would certain that the regular prices would be something like 200,000 gil per night, or GP, whatever is the money in here. So he decided to go to bar and have a drink. Well, at least Galuf is actually smart enough to understand that, hey, there's some occasionally might be some good parts about going around. And there's a piano. So and they had hidden it there. I wonder, are pianos some sort of hidden secret technology that X-Death hates and wants to destroy? Gonna go good. Well, let's see. Can I actually perform a dance? Oh, yeah, let's do. I wonder how badly he would be dancing. Certainly not as well as Cloud Strife or Squall Lionheart. Because those are the other two characters from Final Fantasy games shown to be dancing. Yay, I got money! Well, so it's just still wobbling down the south, trying to get some kind of understanding out of what's going on, where am I going, and all that kind of. And Devourer actually didn't. And here's a castle. The sealed castle, Kudza. It's got a scary music. Couple of counter attacks and because that thing is very powerful and nasty indeed. So the best means of actually defeating it is of course taking control of it. And it has this nasty ability called Blaze that you can then use to burn it out of existence, because that level of damage it just tanked is quite formidable and dangerous. Yeah, it's been taking over 10,000 points of damage, which is quite a lot. About 15. But it does give quite big chunk of experience points, ability points, and quite nice chunk of kill as well. So definitely worth fighting. But fighting it fair is not worth doing. So just still just wandering forward. This burned out wasteland, hell of a wasteland. And there's a strange looking forest. Moogle forest. Oh, there's a Moogle. And it fell off to the pit. Oh yeah, and these forest areas which have these covering canopies might be basically quite difficult to navigate, because you could only see a little bit further, but because of you have the mini-map, there really is no problem about it. And I was smashed into waterway. Yep, it looks like some kind of very much one directional phase, and meaning you go to the nothing you could say. Still see that there's nothing really unusual in critters around here. Let's blast out the white wind. It's convenient healing ability. Yep, everybody's practically full. And they were all taken down to a bloody pulp. And there's even a treasure chest up here. So of course I will be taking it. Gives me money. And sleep blades. Or as much as I can say, I feel that the Red Mage is kind of a bizarre class in that it's really useful right at the beginning of the game with access to practically all magic then available. But then it becomes much, you could say, what's the word, more it becomes much more redundant as the higher level abilities become available and more or less necessary to use over the game. Even though but then again, when you look about it, that it has the ultimate ability of double casting, which is very potent ability, especially once you combine it with the higher level abilities, because that ability has no, you could say, limit on how much you can do it, or better say, on what you can apply it. Which of course means that it is really potent power. And the monk's counter-attack ability is also doing quite nice amount of damage at this phase. But I do notice that the Red Mage has very low hit points to its level, very low hit points. I guess it's a way to compensate for its massive level amount of versatility it has as a class. Lots of these. Plenty of damaging attacks and all that kind of nonsense. I wonder could I get to this location without with a bit different style. Well, I'm not playing through this. Oh, and there's a boss monster apparently appearing. But before that I have to batter some critters down. Yeah, summoners' physical attacks are very squishy. Oh. Arg. Undead Tyrannosaur. And it dies with one application of Phoenix down. Yay! Unless of course the skulls and all that kind of betrayed it already. Undead you hate healing magics and usually also fire magics. They burn. But Moogle is still spooked. Oh, actually no, Moogles, if I remember right, Moogles did appear, had appeared earlier in Final Fantasy games as well, and they are real cute. So it shows where their home is. But I would guess that would be place to explore next time once I actually get some further ahead. And of course you could just waltz through the desert as well and say hello to cactuses. Is this plural cacti? But they don't seem to be, because, well, Moogle walks circles the deserts, but of course Team Barts can't just simply walk around it. But I'll see you next time. Lots of stuff happened in this episode. See ya.